All right, today we're diving into the seriously haunting world of Claudia D. Reid's speculative thriller, Burn After Spitting. And let me tell you, this is a story that doesn't just ask who you are. It completely rips that question apart.
So the story kicks off in the near future, 2035 to be exact, with this incredibly chilling scene. A guy tries to warn the world about, well, the end of everything. And for his trouble, a fixer comes in and just erases him. Not just kills him, but methodically wipes his entire existence from a hotel room. It's like he was never even there.
Right away, you know the stakes are impossibly high. See, they're not just silencing him, they're erasing the warning itself. Whatever this threat is, it's so big, so profound, that even knowing about it is a death sentence.
Okay, so how did things get that bad? To figure that out, the story jumps us back 3 years, to Queens Village, 2032. And this is where we meet a couple of NYPD detectives who are about to stumble onto the very first signs of this crisis. And believe it or not, it all starts with a cough. So detectives Mahoney and Lawler start noticing this really weird pattern. They're connecting all these bizarre domestic calls, and they all have two things in common. First, they involve spitting or coughing, and second, the people involved are claiming to have memories from other lives. You've got a guy who suddenly knows how to fix a complex boiler he's never seen before. Another is absolutely convinced he was a fireman who died years ago. It's impossible stuff.
And then, the investigation hits way too close to home. They realize their own partner, Bobby Newman. This guy is the rock of the team, totally unshakable. He's developed that same exact sign, a persistent, deep, wet cough. And just like that, this weird thing they're investigating isn't just out there on the streets anymore. It's right there in the room with them.
And this is what leads them to a truly terrifying discovery. Because what's spreading through Queens isn't some new flu. It's not just a disease that makes you sick. No, this thing, it's a migration of minds. It fundamentally rewrites who you are.
They call it memory bleed, and it's exactly as wild as it sounds. It's not a virus. It's consciousness fragments from alternate versions of yourself, from other timelines being transmitted through saliva. So suddenly, you have memories, skills, whole chunks of a personality from a life you never lived, but another you did. Mind-bending, right?
And the way it progresses is just systematic and terrifying. Stage 1, contact through saliva. Stage 2, the cough, the weird memories, the confusion. But then you hit stage 3, integration. The other cells start to merge with the host. And by stage 4, manifestation. Your body and your personality actually begin to transform. You're not just you anymore.
But here's a crucial twist. It doesn't happen the same way for everyone. You've got two types of carriers. There's the violent burnout, like what's happening to their partner, Bobby Newman. His body is literally fighting the merge, causing him rage, confusion, and his skin to crack and split. It's pure body horror. But then there's the calm immunity, personified by a woman named Tina Sample. She's calm, complete, shows no symptoms at all. She spreads it through a hug, a kiss, a successful, peaceful integration.
Okay, so as you can imagine, Queens Village is spiraling into absolute chaos. The NYPD is collapsing, and that's when a new power steps in, a much more ruthless one. And their so-called cure? Well, it might just be worse than the disease.
Yeah, this thing gets way bigger than a few precincts in Queens. Infected people start vanishing from locked jail cells. The whole NYPD is falling apart. So the feds get involved. The CDC shows up, led by this super pragmatic, cold-as-ice doctor, Land Mason, and he is not there to play games.
And think about the problem they're facing. It's unprecedented. How do you contain a memory? Their enemy isn't a virus you can stick under a microscope. It's an idea. It's consciousness itself. How do you put that in quarantine?
Well, their answer is the protocol that gives the book its name, Burn After Spitting. And yeah, it is exactly as brutal as it sounds. We're talking a complete scorched earth policy. Destroy the samples, destroy the records, and if necessary, destroy the people carrying it.
So really, this whole insane conflict boils down to one single, irreversible question. A choice that isn't just about who lives and who dies, but about what it even means to be human anymore.
So here's the CDC's choice, option A if you will. Destroy the carriers. You have to preserve this fractured, individual identity we call humanity, no matter the cost, even if that means burning people to do it.
And then there's the alternative, option B. Just let it happen. Allow the dissolution.
Let the species survive not as a bunch of solo acts, but as a chorus. You give up the self to save the whole. And you see how these two views are just polar opposites, right? To the CDC, this is a pathogen, an invasion, an existential threat that needs to be stamped out. But from the other side, it's not a disease at all. It's an awakening. It's a reunion, a balancing of debts across time, a chance to finally become whole. And that brings us to the final reunion, an ending, or maybe a beginning. In the final act, the characters and really the whole world have to make their choice, once and for all.
We're on the precinct roof. The city is burning around them. And our detectives, Mahoney and Lawler, they reject the protocol. They look at their partner, Bobby, who is now this merged being, and they accept his invitation. They choose to join the chorus.
And this is where we finally understand the deal with Tina Sample. Remember her? Turns out, she wasn't patient zero. She was the end point, the finished product, the first person to successfully and peacefully merge. She wasn't spreading a disease, she was spreading the blueprint for a peaceful reunion.
You know, the burn after spitting protocol ultimately fails, and in the most ironic way possible. It turns out, every time they incinerate a carrier, it doesn't silence the fragments, it actually makes them louder. Their attempt to stop it is the very thing that accelerates the global awakening.
The book ends by basically turning the whole question around on us, the readers. It leaves you with this haunting thought, or the beginning, depending on which version of you is reading this. It just forces you to wonder, what if the you that you are right now is just one of many? And which version of you exactly is hearing this?